Let's turn to education now. How do you help your kids develop a love of reading? When my 14-year-old son was just a baby, I loved snuggling up with him and reading a good book. We kept that tradition going for a very long time. Really, until he refused to curl up with Mom anymore because he thought he was just too big. It broke a mama's heart. But all that reading has helped him get off to a great start. I'm very proud of my freshman honor student at Nation Ford High School. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, reading with children at an early age improves their development of language, literacy, and social-emotional skills. Our next story focuses on a woman passionate about helping others develop early literacy skills. Our very own Beverly Dorn Steele recently celebrated her 35th anniversary here at WTVI PBS Charlotte. She's been committed to making a difference in the lives of others all these years. Carolina Impact's Jeff Rivenbark shows us how Miss Bev has made an impact on thousands with a little help from her friend Seymour.
All right, the name of this book is Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons.
Colorful sneakers, shirts, and storytelling makes the Sugar Creek Library come alive. When Beverly Dorn Steele travels, she takes her friends, like Cookie Monster.
He still has his 1 chocolate chip cookie once a day, but does he love those apples.
From teaching healthy eating habits and reading skills, Miss Beverly, as the kids call her, warms up any group with her smile and energetic storytelling.
Again, pop, pop, pop! Oh my goodness! Another button just popped off and rolled away. So how many buttons are left? 1! Ah, very good. 1 button left.
As WTVI's Education and Outreach Coordinator, Beverly works with schools, libraries, and child care providers throughout the area.
I have worked with Miss Beverly for many years. We have a great partnership.
Teresa Clay says a number of kids who come to the Sugar Creek Library don't receive quality reading time with adults at home.
She is very creative in getting these kids, and not only the kids, but the teachers involved and the parents involved with the various workshops.
Talk about what you just watched.
Like this one at Bethlehem Center Head Start. Each year, Beverly conducts nearly 100 workshops to introduce child care providers to educational resources available through PBS that can enhance learning and interaction with children. Beverly started working at WTVI in 1980 as a secretary.
Within 6 months, I moved up into the production department and learned how to run camera and do different things there. And then I worked in programming and then into promotion, and then the buzzword community outreach was born.
While PBS programs many of us grew up watching, like Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, have taken a backseat to today's more popular shows like Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood and Super Y, they share the same goal: helping children build literacy skills.
I really get to see an impact on kids learning from watching PBS Kids programming.
Oh, that was a good story, Miss Beverly. Hey, can we make up our own story now?
Okay, you start.
Okay.
Beverly introduced a new friend to WTVI viewers in the early 1990s.
The first time I met Seymour Goodstuff and I looked into those big blue eyes, I mean, my heart melted. He and I meshed.
She just took me under her wing as a young elephant, and she said, "Why don't you come to the WTVI Kids Club Clubhouse and we'll hang out and do all sorts of fun stuff."
After making hundreds of appearances on WTVI's Kids Club and out in the community, Seymour says it's been great.
I gotta tell you, working with Miss Beverly all these years, all of my 6 years that I am perpetually stuck at, it has been fantastic.
And making learning fun and exciting ignites a child's passion. Having worked in public education for 20 years in Charlotte, Jerry Hagler says she's seen firsthand Beverly's commitment to promoting literacy for underserved communities.
She is there in every community, whether it's in a daycare or a library or partnering with a nonprofit organization, but she's reaching families who may not have had the opportunity to have books in their home, or parents who may not be able to read themselves.
A number of kids that I work with do live in predominantly disadvantaged circumstances, and it warms my heart to see them receive their first book.
Here we go! Beverly also leads a number of community events like this one at the Harvest Center in West Charlotte, which serves a high number of homeless and low-income residents.
We had an opportunity to give back to the community by donating free PBS Kids educational resources that both the children and the parents could benefit from.
The big impact she makes happens with one small group at a time.
I think WTVI's Raising Readers program is now up to about 20,000 kids that we've reached over the years.
A mother herself, Beverly never passes up an opportunity to remind other moms and dads about the impact literacy can have on their child's life.
Spend time reading with your child. Allow them to ask questions. Talk about what you just read. Do an activity or an exercise after you've watched the PBS Kids program, after you've read a book.
As for Seymour Goodstuff, he never passes up a chance to give a shout out for his best friend.
I love Miss Beverly. She's the super best. Oh, Miss Beverly, you know I love you. Wagga.
Back at the Sugar Creek Library, this visit comes to an end, but Beverly hopes it's the start of a new reading adventure that empowers these kids to stretch themselves academically in the years ahead. For Carolina Impact, I'm Jeff Rivenbark reporting.
Thanks so much, Jeff. Joining me now is Joe Washington, who's known Beverly for about a decade and has worked in collaboration with the outreach team here at WTVI PBS Charlotte. Joe, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate you being here so much.
Thank you. I'm happy.
Talk to us about some of the collaborations that you've done with our PBS outreach program here. You have a special one to your heart with the Y Achievers.
I sure do. The Y Achievers program was something that we wanted to get out of the ground several years ago. I, at the time, was a board member at Stratford Richardson as a volunteer, and I was charged with finding donors, finding sponsors, mentors, educators, all to develop this Y Achievers program. They found that in their research, at least 34% of our students weren't graduating on time. This really, really concerned the leadership at the Y. I right away knew who I needed to tap into. Bev, with her vast experience in our community and in education, I was hoping I could go to her and get some counsel as to how to engage people.
Community conveners, that's one of the things it's always such an honor to be a part of as the PBS station, to kind of bring people together to make an impact. So you worked with our PBS folks and you saw some great impact with those students in the Y Achievers program, which is still an ongoing program, but tell us about the progress so far.
Just this year, several months ago, we were able to report that the Y Achievers program, sponsored through the Y, nurtured up to 115 students at 3 targeted schools, West Meck, West Charlotte, as well as Vance. And at those 3 schools, they're able now to report at least a 20% improvement in terms of closing that gap in graduations. That's marvelous.
Because that sets those kids up for success for the rest of their lives. And as an executive coach, I mean, you probably see that connection with literacy, that connection to being able to feel a part of something probably leads folks to success further on in their life as well.
Yes, and that's what the Y Achievers program was really all about. It was leadership development and career development. And we needed mentors, we needed interns, we needed sponsors, and WTVI with Bev stepped into that space for us.
It's fun to be a part of the community and to make an impact. Well, you know, it's not just kids. You've worked in a way that how we've been able to harness that convening with adults as well. Tell us a little bit about some adult programs that you've had connection with.
Wow.
I know there's a lot.
Wow.
Just pick one. We're running out of time.
Bev actually got the funding and did the leadership and the development for a WTVI Love and Forgiveness campaign program. This program was for adults, lifelong learning experience, so that they could find new ways to love and forgive, whether they had family grievances, whether they had community racial tension issues. This was a way for them to do such. She engaged Charlotte-Mecklenburg County's Department of Parks and Recs, and they actually built a Love and Forgiveness garden in Freedom Park. And that's a place today where people come, walk the path of forgiveness, and find peace within themselves.
Community collaboration is what it's all about. Joe Washington, a master coach, thank you so much. Your business is called Growth Resource International. We appreciate your time. And, you know, we want to work with you for many, many years to come and for the good of our community. Thanks so much.
And I trust you will. Thank you.